Hey, y'all. Welcome to my podcast, See What God Says Instead. I'm Abigail Price. Today is day 20 of 30, and I'm just going to dive right in. So, those of you who have been here already know that what See What God Says Instead means that what I'm doing is seeing what God said in His Word happening in my life, as opposed to what the doctors are saying, as opposed to what I'm seeing with my eyes. Whatever it is that's rising itself against what God has said in His Word, I'm choosing to believe and see with my imagination what He said within myself. So there's a scripture that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, our true self, our spirit, our mouths speak. And what's in our heart in abundance is the things that we have fed ourselves, the things that we've been taught. That's what's in our heart in abundance. And out of that, our mouth speaks. So today, as I said, is day 20. And the Lord had me in the Old Testament this morning, and I'm piddling around in here. I piddled around until I landed on Exodus 33:4, which says, and He said, my presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. His presence lives in me. The last episode, episode 19, I talked about entering into His rest. So, of course, I'd be led to a scripture today about Him giving me rest. So, as I said, His presence lives in me. So, yeah, He goes with me. And because He goes with me, it's His rest that I am entering into, not my own. I'm not struggling to get into it. This is something that I've taken. He said, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. His yoke of rest. It's the Father's gift. So I don't have to struggle. I just receive what has already been given to me. And how do I do that? Well, since I have His peace, it's one of the fruits of the Spirit. I access His peace by breathing. So let me explain. I have His peace. Jesus said in John 14, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid, which means I am in control of my heart, whether it's troubled or not. So I close my eyes and I begin to breathe deeply. 5 deep breaths through my nose. Hold it for the count of however long you want to hold it, sometimes 5, sometimes 10, whatever, and then breathe out through your mouth. You do this 5 times, and that will put you in a state of rest where your heart slows down, your breathing slows down. And what I begin to do is I envision His peace like a cloth, like a thin, almost like a sheer curtain type of cloth, as I've envisioned the Shekinah glory. And I see that wrapping around myself. I see that peace intermingling and wrapping around myself in every place that the peace touches, every place that cloth touches. The peace of God that's infused in that cloth, that's coming out from the inside of me, begins to flow. I feel the power of it flowing into my body. So I'm getting peace from the inside and I'm getting peace from the outside. And when I finish speaking that peace, as it touches my body, as it touches every part of my body, by the time I get down to my toes, I am fully relaxed and in rest. And as I rest in Him, I rest in Him as if I already have what He said, because He said I already have it. And I celebrate my already having what I see on the inside of me. So as I was putting this together, I heard the question, so how come we don't have to do this with the things we don't want? How come they just show up? Well, they show up because we've been practiced in doing that. It's like breathing. We do this automatically anyway. What happens is, because we don't know we're doing it, we don't know we're doing it. When you don't know you're doing something, you don't know that you have the power to stop it. Now that I have found out that I am the one doing this, I now have the power to stop it. So the other morning I was making myself some eggs and I cracked one of them in a different way than I usually crack the egg. And I saw a little piece of shell on the top of it. I didn't want that shell. I got a feeling on the inside. I don't want that shell to go in there because then I got to dig it out. I didn't want to have to do that. So I got the shell off, put the egg in a bowl, cracked the other egg the way I normally crack it, normally without a problem. Bam, don't you know a shell went in there? It was something I didn't want. I saw it on the inside of me. I manifested it. Had to get the shell out. And I asked the Lord, how come it works so fast with the things I don't want? And he told me, because you're well versed, you're practiced in doing it that way. You're practiced in connecting to the feelings of the things you don't want and snatching them out of the spiritual realm. So now that I know that I'm doing it, now I just have to practice doing it the other way with things that I do want. And that, my friends, is the end of day 20. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 21. Have an amazing day. Bye.